What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast,
What's up, everybody? This your boy Phil.
and I'm Leroy. Now, before we start on today's game, we got to talk about last week's game. Now, AJ Brown finally spoke to the media, and here's a little clip that everybody was so happy about what he said about the coaching of the Philadelphia. Is it a coaching problem or is it a player problem? Why the Eagles' downfall towards the end of the season?
Now, what do you mean everybody was happy about? Because I saw everybody was upset about it.
I'll get into it after he's finished.
Well,
Here
well, you
it
can't
didn't.
say everybody was happy about it
No,
though.
I'll get into it. Yes, they was too. Yes, they
No,
was.
no, they was not. All
Oh,
right, just
yes,
go
they
ahead. Go
was.
ahead. Go ahead.
Here we go.
I can tell you, I can tell you uh, that there may be things that Nick probably want to fix about himself, and I'll say, but one thing I can't respect, loyalty is not one of them, and I say that because he takes up for us when it has nothing to do with him, and he gets the blame, but that comes with his job, and sometimes Jalen does the same thing, and just like Brian, he get the wrong end of the stick sometimes when it be us. But like I said today, the coaches played 0 snaps this year. It is not the coaches, it is us. And so, like I said, if one person goes the wrong way, the whole play is over with. And as you guys see, it is glimpse. It is highs and lows. It goes just like this. And so that's why I feel like honestly I feel like we are close. We are close to continue to getting better and continue to take that next step. With all this freaking adversity, we right there. That's what happens when you're trying to get to the next step. Gravity pulls against you. Everything pulls against you, and I think that's what this team is going through right now. And I think once we fight through that, push through that, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be right where we need to be. Because I know we got great people in this locker room. We got good people. You mentioned that. I tell you,
Okay, so what he said is not the coaching, it's the players. Because if the players make a wrong move, it's not the coaching fault. So, television media, I don't know about radio media. Television media loved it. People at work loved it. I've never heard anyone say anything negative of what he said. And someone said it at work, and I wanted to say to her so bad, like that has nothing to do with the players. It is the coaching. What he's doing is he's just talking. He's just saying that to try to get it over with. And people do that all the time. You don't
Yeah,
really mean what you're
I
saying. He's
agree.
just doing that just to get it over with. Now, there was an article in athletic.com. It was about how Sean Desai and Matt Patricia was sending their edge rushers or just pass rushers in general and pass coverage. And now
Dumbest shit ever.
they benched Sean Desai for well, he didn't bench him. He just made Matt Patricia the play caller, the defensive play caller. Hey,
So
we'll come.
hold on. I got a question. So you the defensive coordinator and you get benched or get the play calling duty snatched from you. What else are you doing on the team?
Well, he
It's almost like you're fired without saying he's fired.
Yes, he made the schemes, so they're still running his schemes or whatever. And Patricia is the
That
one
shit
that's
don't
like
work.
picking the back playbook. That's like when you playing Madden. I guess you still can create plays, but
Hmm.
you're just picking the plays that the EA.
Auto
I don't.
sim.
Yeah, you're just
Hmm.
picking those plays, and you get to pick what if you want to blitz a zone, a man
Hmm.
coverage, or whatever. So it's kind of like that. Well, come to find out that Matt Patricia is putting the edge rushers and pass coverage even more. Now, here's a little quote here. This is from the athletic.com. Patricia thought such a defense would create advantages. It wasn't. This is about the pass rushers and the edge rushers or pass rushers and pass coverage. It wasn't an entirely new idea. Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith, Brandon Graham, and Josh Sweat, the team's primary edge rushers, had all lined up as off-ball linebackers in the box or the slot, while Deshaun was still in charge of the defense. But Patricia has positioned Reddick, Smith, and Graham off the ball far more in the last 3 games, 9.4% of their combined defensive snaps, than Deshaun did, and 2.3%, according to Pro Football Focus. Although he's kept Sweat along the line of scrimmage for all 140 of the defensive end snaps. If you can move some of those guys around, I think it just slows their process down a little bit. Patricia reasoned last week, days ahead of the Cardinals game. Maybe you catch them in a bad mismatch and catch maybe a free runner coming through, something along those lines. Being able to utilize those guys in those ways definitely help. So far, utilizing edge rushers in those ways hurt the Eagles, and it's
No shit.
worth questioning whether Patricia should abandon the strategy before the playoff begin. Those uses became more pronounced on Christmas Day against the New York Giants when Smith, an outside linebacker, lined up as the team's Mike linebacker. The Giants gained first downs on consecutive plays, demonstrating the look limitations against both run and pass. Patricia is attempting to leverage a strength within the defensive roster. Reddick, Graham, and Sweat are all one-time Pro Bowlers, along with Smith, a first-round selection. Edge rushers make up for 32% of the defense positional spending, according to Over the Cap. The significant investment reflects general managers Harry Roseman priorities. Linebackers make up just 7.8% of the defensive positional spending. There were 9 players against the Cardinals on Sunday in which Patricia subbed out a linebacker for an extra edge rusher, a 5-1-5 defensive look, which unstated premise that the Eagles were better off in certain situations than such a swap. Now, listening back to AJ Brown's comment. Now, you mean to tell me that's not coaching?
Yeah, that's bullshit. And this dude Patricia, he's a fucking clown because this we had 70 sacks last year. This year I think we got like 40 something, high 40s. That's a big drop off. So why are your best guys that can hit the quarterback dropping into coverage?
And you
That's not
putting
their
them
position.
exactly. You putting them in a position where they're uncomfortable at.
They're slower, they're bigger. Those guys need to hit the hole and sack quarterbacks. That's what they need to do. They don't need to be covering tight ends and running backs out the backfield and all that type shit. That's when you get toasted. And Patricia been a bum ever since he left Belichick.
And you for the opposing team, I would do a whole lot of if they're in pass coverage, I would do a whole lot of screen passes, halfback screen passes. And I would have my running back, I mean not running back, I'm sorry, my receiver, slot receiver going across the middle. Because they can't stop because they're too slow.
Exactly. And when you said everybody was happy about what AJ Brown said, well, I listen to sports radio and I listen to a lot of articles and then I checked the comments and I also was following a score. You know how they have the comment section that's like during the game and right after the game.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of fans was saying AJ Brown must be a cancer in the locker room, and they was disagreeing with it. It was one of the guys on the radio that hosts the radio. He kind of said, no, AJ Brown is not a cancer. I've been around the team. I've been around the other players. They all love him. He's not a cancer. But a lot of people and a lot of media people and fans were saying he got to go. He got a ego problem and all this stuff. He's self-centered. It's all about him. They were saying he almost had that narrative running about him now.
Yeah, that's just a way for them to get rid of him. He's a wide receiver. They all act the same way.
Yes, all the good ones do anyway. There's a
Right.
rare few good receivers that wasn't throw me the ball type receivers. Like they was just chill coming to work. Most of them want the ball. They want to be divas, and you got to feed them. And if they're a star and they're not getting targets, then they're going to be pissed off. The second half, AJ Brown only got 1 target. He's your best receiver. That's inexcusable.
So, we're in the age of social media and everything. So everything is more out in the open. Now see, Terrell Owens, he was like the bad guy because he was saying, he always wanted the ball and all that stuff. Y'all have to realize that Jerry Rice was just as bad as Terrell Owens. It wasn't social media back then. He used to holler at the quarterbacks all the time about him getting the ball, about him wanting the ball. They all do that.
They do.
So it's not nothing
Randy
surprising.
Moss, Keyshawn Johnson, Chris Carter, they all did that.
I don't know why Keyshawn Johnson was named into to elite wide receivers, but I
I'm talking.
digress.
Key,
I'm joking.
Keyshawn Johnson had over 100 catches in the season, like, and he was a top pick. So you can say what you want, but what I'm saying is, top receivers, that's what they do.
Hmm. Yeah, so I don't get it, but it's definitely the coaching here and all this experimenting. You don't experiment with shit like this during the season, especially when now everything was all locked up. You had the best record in the league, and you won the division, and you get the first round bye and all that stuff in the playoffs. I could see you little toying around with this experiment a little bit towards the end of the season, but nothing was wrapped up. So why would you do that now? And here's the thing: you already knew it wasn't working. Why are you constantly doing it, still doing it, trying to
Well,
prove a point?
they said Arizona got rid of Hassan Reddick because he was bitching about that. So if he didn't like that, why would he come here and y'all make him do that shit again? If
Right.
he was bitching about it in Arizona and then Arizona got rid of him because of that, because he didn't want to drop in the coverage, why drop him in the coverage when he get here? Let him go after the quarterback will make him an all pro again. He
And
fucking had second in the NFL in sacks last year, I believe, or third, something like that.
right.
Let him stick with what he do best.
And of course I don't trust them. It could be a ploy to getting rid of the elders, saying that, oh, they're too old now. Your boy Brandon Graham, Fletcher
Well,
Cox,
well,
all
I
the
think those got
elders.
most of the older guys like that. They're on 1 year contracts anyway, so you don't really have to re-sign them. They're
Yeah, but
not
that's
making
that's
that.
a just okay. Let's just say Brandon Graham had like well, you've seen in this article that he's in pass coverage a lot. So let's just say for argument, he had 12 sacks this year, 13 sacks this year. Okay, he's on a 1 year deal. They get rid of him. People going to wonder why are you getting rid of a guy who had 12 sacks this last season. I mean, yeah, he's up in age, but obviously he could still play.
Right.
But now
So
since
yeah, yeah.
everything is down, right, you can
Well,
give.
it's the same
Well,
shit.
he's
It's
just
the
not
same
as
shit.
good as anymore.
Right. Same shit they do when we talk about with the running backs. They give them less carries so their numbers go down and say, hey, well, he ain't really have a good year. He ain't have a good year because you didn't use him that way like you did when he was a fucking beast.
Right.
Same
And
shit. Yeah.
speaking of that, shout out to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry just turned 30. They're saying this is his last year in Tennessee. Uh, Last year he had 349 carries. This year he has 261. Let's just say this before the end of this game. Let's just say he'll have 280. He have 280 carries. So he got less carries. He still got 1,000 yards, and he averaged 3.9 yards a carry this year, 4.4 yards a carry last year. His yards a carry will probably go up to 4 at the end of this game. So he's still averaging the same amount of carries he's been having all his whole career, about 4 or 5 yards a
Because he's the
carry.
same player, but they're trying to phase him out.
Right. And so they say, well, look, he's just not good anymore. Look at his yardage. Last year, he had 1,500 yards. I'm sorry, I said 1,000. This year, he only had 1,000 yards, but he had like damn near 100 less carries than he did
Exactly.
last year. That's just a ploy. This is what they probably doing with Graham, the elders of the
Right.
team.
Well, I was talking to one of the doctors, the one I always talk to about football, and I said, "What you think about Dalvin Cook being signed to your squad?" He's like, "Oh, he's washed up." I'm like, "How's he washed up? He didn't even get used this year. So last
Hmm.
year he was a beast. He gets traded and don't get used the next year. That automatically make him washed up."
Yep.
But
Yeah.
that's and
It's
you know a lot of fans that don't dig deep into it, they just go with whatever the media say. You know what I mean?
Right. Last year, he had 1,100 yards rushing. This year, he only had 214 yards. Last year, he had 264 attempts. This year, he only had 67. That's why I picked Devin Cook on my fantasy squad because I thought like, oh shit, they're gonna be giving what's the other dude name? The main running back.
Brees
Brees
Hall,
Hall, yeah, Brees Hall. I was thinking they was going to be like the
a
two punch
1-2 punch.
combination, right? And he only had damn 67.
Even when Bryce got hurt, they still wasn't using Dalvin Cook. So that should tell you something right there.
Yep.
He fresh legs. He's an all pro, and you don't even use him. Don't even try to use
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go on to this week's game. This is season finale. The Eagles going to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Giants. The Eagles are a 5 point favorite and the over under is 42.5. What's your thoughts on this game? Wait a minute, before you say your thoughts, I want you to answer this question. Now, DeAndre Swift is hurt. The question for you is Rashard Penny going to get any carries this game?
No,
All
and
right.
and I don't think DeAndre Swift is hurt. They just resting him. That's what I believe. They can say what they
Uh-huh.
want to say. He didn't limp off the field last week, so when did he get hurt?
No, I think it's an illness, not he's hurt body wise. That's the
Ain't no,
excuse they're
ain't
saying.
ain't nothing wrong with him. They resting him for the last game. Just like there's a couple other players that's not playing this week. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going to use that running back Penny that you said. I don't know why they pick him up because, like you said, he's a fresh dude. He's a strong runner. So why you didn't use him all year? It makes no sense. But for some reason, they love goddamn what's the other boy
Boston
name?
Scott.
Not Boston Scott, the backup.
Gainwell.
Man, they love them some Gainwell no matter what. Anytime we get in the red zone, it's either Gainwell or the quarterback running in for a touchdown.
Hmm.
Gainwell damn near get more carries than Swift sometimes. So it's like, damn, is Gainwell dating the owner's daughter or something? For somebody that don't put up numbers, he sure keep a job.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be running backs next season.
No, they'll draft another running back or pick somebody up, but he'll still be here.
Yeah,
I
and
don't,
Boston
I
Scott.
don't, I don't understand it.
Boston will be your main back. Gainwell will still be doing Gainwell stuff, and they'll just draft a young running back, probably another little young fast running
Because
back.
Boston Scott is a little dude, he's never going to be a main back, so he'll never lead in carries. If anything, they'll make Gainwell the lead guy and mix it up with Boston Scott and another guy.
Well, go
It
ahead.
makes
What's
no
your thoughts
sense.
on the game?
I'm gonna go with the under because we can't fucking score, and I don't care if we win by 1 point, long as we win the game. Because we put ourselves in a fucked up situation when we was in the driver's seat to win. Even if we don't win home field advantage over the Niners, we could at least have division locked up. But they want
Right.
to fuck around and bullshit and tinker with it. They should have never brought in that damn Patricia. He's a fucking bum. Always been a bum. And all he did was make the defense even worse than it was already doing and shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? So same shit we always say. Well, shit, we ain't got no running back, but run the ball. Fucking they got our second best receiver hurt on a fucking blocking. Like, why you got him out there blocking?
Hmm.
So it made no sense. I don't know. Um, Giants is a joke, so we should be able to beat them. But we should be able to beat a lot of these teams that we fucking lose or struggle against.
Right.
So I ain't got no more to say.
You that disappointed?
Yes, big time.
Agreed, agreed. Because it's some football isn't that hard. It's not that complicated. But when it comes to these guys, it's like they make everything complicated.
It's X's and O's. It's basing shit you do in certain situations. But these they want to go against the grain, show that they're the smartest dude in the room, and say, "Nah, I know what everybody else want to do, so I'm gonna trick them up and go and do this other crazy shit." Then the
Yeah.
crazy shit don't work. You know what I mean? Every once in a blue moon, when the crazy shit work, oh, he got big balls, or what they say, big kahunas. No, he got
Hmm.
lucky. The shit don't work. Look at the percentage wise, how many times it worked. It don't work.
Right. Like, hey, let's put our best edge rushers, the guys that get to the quarterback, let's put them in pass coverage. So you know what? That gives the quarterback all times a day to throw the football because no one's coming after them.
And it's funny because before the game, we talked about how the Eagles kept dropping Hassan Reddick in the coverage like
Right.
that. And then that game he dropped in the coverage the most in one game all year. And then Brandon Graham was dropping the coverage. That make it even worse. So you got Brandon Graham dropping the coverage and Reddick in that same game. That's crazy to me.
Hmm. Don't forget Shaq Leonard too.
It's crazy.
Right. Shaq Leonard. So well, you know he ain't coming back here.
He might be back. Who knows? I
Uh,
mean, you can't blame him because he only had like a few games with the team, so he don't even have like a fresh startup. He just got thrown in the fire with a bum ass defense. So you got to give him at least another chance to see what he can do. If not, you starting over with fresh linebackers all over again.
mm-hmm. Well, all right, y'all. We'll be back at halftime. Oh, do you want to do your prediction?
Uh, 24-17 Eagles.
See, I would say 28-10 because hopefully I'm just hopefully thinking that they can put the Giants away at least by the third quarter so the backups will come in so nobody can get hurt like as you were saying about Devontae getting hurt
Mm-hmm.
like that. So hopefully they can wrap this up so our guys don't
So
be on the field. By
so
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you don't got Swift, your number run back, and you don't got Devontae, your second best receiver. You think they're gonna score 28? They can't
You
even score 28 with the full team
you
together.
got Julio. You got
Short.
Julio. You
He's
got
a
AJ.
you
You got your tight
now.
end.
Now Julio is more of a short yardage situation. They don't even
Right.
throw him deep like that. So in short yardage, yeah, he can be a beast like that. I don't know if he washed up, but he just don't get the opportunity. If it was me, he'd be on the field 90% of the time, unless he can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be my third receiver, or he'd be my backup tight end, one or the other. So when Goddard come out, Julio going in at the tight end position. I don't need no little third receiver. Like what's the name would be my little guy that's on the field? Devontae. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need these other dudes that we have on the field as much as they put them on the field. I'll take Julio in a heartbeat.
Right. Well, all right. We'll be back at halftime.
All right, y'all.
All right, we back. The Giants is up 24-0. Some quick stats on the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, 7 for 15, 55 yards. Marcus Mariota, 0 for 1 with one interception. Some rushing. Gamewell, 7 carries for 63 yards.
Hold on, Mariota didn't throw an interception.
Yes, he did. He threw
When?
that. His first pass was an interception. The screen, what you was talking about.
I thought
The
that was
first,
Hurts.
no, that was Marcus.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm positive. Jalen Hurts didn't. Jalen Hurts had
Okay, okay. No, I thought that was Hurts that threw that interception.
no, Rush. His first pass was an interception. Rushing.
Why? Why my I'm sorry, but why my app only has one interception for the Eagles and it says Mariota?
I thought did they count the Jalen Hurts interception? They counted it on the referees counted it, but I
I
see it
I
on
know.
here. It didn't. I see it on here. They not counting that as an interception.
So they
Yeah.
kind of, but they gave him the interception on the field. They
Yep.
fucking around.
Yep. Rushing, we have Gainwell, 7 carries for 63 yards, and our boy Rashard Penny, 3 carries for 7 yards. Receiving, we have Watkins, 3 receptions for 29 yards. And shit, there ain't really nothing else going on there. On the Giants side, we have Tyrod Taylor already with 15 for 20, 229 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception.
The man went 10 for 10 like he's a fucking all world quarterback. They said
we
10 completions in a row. Like what?
Rushing, we have Saquon Barkley, 11 carries, 29 yards, 2 touchdowns. Receiving Robinson, 5 receptions for 85 yards. Slayton, 4 receptions for 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Philip, explain to us what's going on here.
I think the coach lost the team, and I think the team don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's coming out like they want to play. Your quarter and I was early in the game. Rashard Penny was running all over him. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry. Then they just stopped using him. He had 5 touches for
You
like
mean
50, over
Gainwell?
game. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Gainwell. Gainwell had 5 touches for 50 yards in the first quarter, and then he don't get no touches hardly in the whole second quarter to the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they started using Penny and stuff, and they just went back to the pass. Like, why are you forcing a pass? You see they blitzing. When they blitzing,
Yes.
the best thing to do is throw a quick pass or hand the ball off, one or the other. But you don't drop your quarterback back when they keep blitzing.
And is it me, or does Hurts just seem like he's just not uninterested?
Yeah, well, that's what I feel about all the players. They feel like they don't give a shit. They're still dropping linebackers back, and those guys are the receivers is too fast for linebackers. Our linebackers can't cover receivers. It makes no
Yeah.
sense why we doing that.
That was Nolan Smith that was on Barkley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You already gave up right there. That's already a loss right there because you're going to just run right past them.
Why is we just trying our hardest to force the pass? You see, all your receivers are hurt, so run the damn ball. They can't
Right.
stop the run, but we don't want to run the ball. It makes no sense. Every time we play a team that can't stop the run, we want to pass. We
Well,
play a team, it's like backwards thinking. I don't understand that.
well, would they say
I,
that the Giants gave up the most sacks, like within like what? It was a whole lot of years because they bored up the Eagles in like the 70s or something.
uh-huh.
They but we can't get to the quarterback.
The Giants only averaged 14 points a game in this season. The worst since like I think they said 2012. But here they
Hmm.
got 24 on us in the first half.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, something is not right
I
here.
think Sirianni need to go and he can take his whole squad with him. Because
Y-
when you saw that we couldn't run the offense wasn't doing shit when we were healthy and Frank Wright had got fired, why didn't you bring him back?
right.
Even if you do like we brought him in as a consultant, but at least you got some other offensive mind here than still running with what you got. Brian Johnson don't know what he's doing.
Hmm. Yeah, something isn't going on here. We don't know what it is, but
And like I said, Deshaun Jackson said that we was losing on purpose.
what he say that on Twitter?
He was sitting on the podcast and said that. You didn't see it?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's his reason why that they losing on purpose?
I only heard like parts of it. I didn't watch the whole video, but I
Hmm.
think he was saying we came out aggressive the early parts of the season,
Right.
and then we just took our foot off the pedal in the second half, something towards that. But I didn't hear all of it.
Hmm.
But they made a big fuss over him saying that we was losing on purpose, so that's what I was reading on that part.
Right. And going back to Jalen Hurts, like if you come out and if you playing like uninterested and not into it, look, I would have set him down earlier. Like, look, if you're not into it, I can get somebody else that's into the game. And he
He
just
might
like,
be he might be into it, but he not might not be into the play calling. But shit,
right.
if I was him, I'd just be ordering without all that shit. They don't know what they doing. I'm gonna call what I like to do.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing too. It's like these guys don't audible anymore. I don't think they allowed to.
Hurts do it from time to time. He hasn't in a while, but he does it from time to time.
Right. Yeah, he hasn't been doing it in a while. I don't think they told him. They probably told him to stop doing it. Because if I
You
look and I
see
listen
every
to the play, it's too many. It's too many wide receiver screens. Too many wide receiver screens. And if you keep calling wide receiver screens, oh no, I would have said I would have changed it.
yeah,
I would have went right
you
to the
know,
line and just changed the
you
play.
know, it's almost like the NFL is robotic, and most of the time, whatever the coach call, you call. Even if you see like a handoff, but you see them stack the line. A lot of times they don't audible out of it, even on the pitch. You see, as a broken play, and somebody missed a block, they still throw the ball to the running back, knowing that guy's right there in their face.
Yep.
So I don't understand that robotic shit. Like the audible out of that shit. I'll be audible the whole game. It'd be like street football if I was hers. And if you don't like it, you gonna have to bench me. I mean, you don't do that with a veteran offensive coordinator to know what he's doing. But obviously, you can see these guys don't know what they're doing. So when you do your own thing, it is what it is. This guy Brian Johnson, now he get the blame for calling the plays because that's what I said about Sirianni. He always keep throwing the blame on somebody else. So as long as he say I'm not calling the plays, he can always keep his job, which is bullshit.
Right.
You're an offensive minded head coach that's not calling the plays. It makes no sense. If you ain't calling the plays, you don't need to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
and Brian Johnson, he just loved to pass the ball. No matter how good the run is working, he'll go away from it and force the pass. You see,
And
you ain't got no receivers, and you still want to throw the ball down the field.
well, this is also Sirianni's fault because when you
Right.
hear those plays, why you don't say anything? You just sit there and just let it keep going. Like you said, they running the football well. Why are we not running the football?
Mm-hmm. And then you go down so much, so then you gonna say, hey, well, since we down now, we gotta pass. So I ain't got worried about them questioning why we passed all second half. Every damn near game since we've been playing shitty in these last 5 or 6 games, we've been down going into half.
Right. So when the Eagles lose this game, this makes them like the fourth seed, the third or fourth seed, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. All right. Because they're not coming back from the
It's
25th.
crazy because your division is on the line, and you don't give a shit.
Nope. Well, like you said, if like Deshaun said, they losing the game on purpose. These guys, they in the analytics. Maybe analytically, they see something that is
Man,
better to
that's
have this
bullshit.
seed.
Well, all week they were saying Sirianni was thinking about resting the starters for this game, which made no sense to me. The way they've been playing, you don't get the rest. But
Right.
that's what he's been saying. So by them playing like this, maybe he say, "All right, y'all gonna start, but take it easy out there."
Mm-hmm.
Every time Tyrod Taylor drop back, these guys are wide open and he got no pressure. It makes no
Yep.
sense. This
Yep.
guy ain't that type of quarterback to be going 10 for 10 in a row completions and just throwing it down the field with accuracy like 70%. Like, what is he doing?
Yep.
Our defense can't be that bad to be that shitty.
Mm-hmm. So I have to ask you, what do you want to see in the second half?
The coach to get fired.
During the game?
Yep.
That's it.
Now I see that they added the interception on her stats.
uh
Ain't nothing you can do now. You down by so much you can't really run the ball, which was
No.
working.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you run the ball when it worked. You don't get away from the run and then put yourself in a situation where you gotta pass. Now they can just send the blitz and tee off on your quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be Marcus. It won't be Jalen. That's the only thing you could. The only positive note you could
You don't
say
think
about it.
Jalen coming back?
No. Why would he? I hope not. It
They
don't
were
make any
saying
sense.
they said Marcus only came out just to eat the clock out and go to the half.
Yeah.
That's what Jalen should have did before that interception. He should have been running the ball. It was like a minute to go. Ain't no
Yeah.
need on rushing all the way down the field. You had like the 20 or something like that. Just go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
run that clock out and go to the half. But we still was passing the ball.
Yep. Well, are
And
you? Oh, go
you
ahead.
had I was just gonna say, and he throwing a bomb to Julio, double coverage, tight double coverage. It make
Yes.
no sense.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. We'll be back at the end of the game. Good luck.
All right.
All right.
Go Giants, go! Go out and march to victory. Go out and roll down that field.
All right, we back at the end of the game. The Eagles lost 27-10. Some stats on the Eagles side. Marcus Mariota, 13 for 20, 148 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Jalen Hurts didn't come back in the second half, so he was 17 for 16, 55 yards, and one interception. As Philip said, they brought the interception back. Rushing, we have Gainwell, 6 carries for 62 yards, and Rashard Penny, 6 carries for 16 yards. On the Giants side, we have Tyrod Taylor, 23 for 32, 297 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Rushing, we have Saquon. I thought Saquon almost had 100 yards rushing. I think they may added his rushing and passing as total yards. But Saquon Barkley, 18 carries, 48
He
yards,
wasn't doing
touchdown.
nothing, so I don't think he was close to it
Right.
because he only had 28 at halftime.
Receiving, we have Robinson, 5 receptions for 85 yards. Slayton, 5 receptions, 62 yards for one touchdown. Poor performance. This is like one of the worst games the Eagles had in years.
I don't think the coach prepared them to play because remember all week they kept saying I'm gonna pull the stars, I'm gonna pull the stars. So now you got them playing, but they all on some lazy, not going at full strength type shit.
Right.
And the play calling was horrible. And I blame the head coach, even if he not calling the plays, I blame him because, like I said, Gainwell was running all over the place. He just couldn't get no carries. The man is averaging 10 yards a carry, but you ain't giving him no touches.
Like we said, it was almost like they playing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something ain't
Maybe
right here.
maybe they saw the seed and they figured out. You know how some teams will do that shit because so they can figure out who they're gonna play in the playoffs. Maybe they doing some shit like that. It got to be something.
Right. Right. Like, yeah, this is be the easiest road. If we can get the whatever seed, it's got to be the third seed now, third or fourth.
Fifth, I think.
Oh, okay. So then they play one. Well, who do they play at the fifth seed?
I think they played the two, right?
And the two will be with the two
Dallas.
one. Yeah, the two will be Dallas. I guess that's what they figuring. I don't know. But this was a horrible performance. I really don't have nothing to say for the second half.
Yeah, I don't got nothing to say either because I couldn't even pay attention then. It was like, you know what? They already packed it in, so it is what it is. I had it on, but I was on my phone. I wasn't even like focused no more.
Same. I would ate, cooked, ate. Well,
Yep, I
warmed
ate
up,
my
ate.
food. I ate my
Right.
food. I ran up and down the steps. I did all types of shit.
Yep. Same here. Was on the phone, washed
Yep.
dishes. Like I said, it was on, but Yeah, this was some shit football. I
Oh,
don't even know what to
they
say.
gonna kill him. They gonna kill him on the radio tomorrow.
Uh-huh. So, well,
And
look, are
see,
you
you
good?
always bust on the hosts of the shows. But see, me, I like the radio because I like the calling and I like to hear all the fans that
Mm-hmm.
call in. And I think my boy Maurice, I think he called in before and I heard him. And I think Dennis called in before and I heard him.
Mm-hmm.
So I like
Now,
to hear the fans because they think like I think most of the time.
now, are you ready for the playoffs?
It don't matter if I'm ready, is the Eagles ready.
Okay, are the Eagles ready for the playoffs?
We can beat Dallas, but the way we've been playing these last shitty 5 weeks, we can't beat a fucking anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't even matter who we playing. If we come out like this, we can't beat nobody. And now everybody keep getting banged up. They said this is the second time somebody got hurt doing this damn receiver screen trying to block. Who got hurt? A receiver
Who?
got hurt on that play.
Yeah,
Was it
who was
Julio?
it? I
I don't
think
know.
so.
They said this is the second time that somebody got hurt on the receiver screen trying to block, which is
Right.
stupid. Shit ain't work all year, but you keep going to it like that's your bread and butter.
Exactly. And when you keep doing that over and over again, the team already going to know what you up
And the
to.
Giants knew when you came out with that formation, and as soon as that ball got hiked, they knew that's how I got picked off because they already knew. Just
Right.
like Christian McCaffrey said, our fucking offense is so vanilla and predictable. Anybody know what's going on? They got some common sense.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, all I hope is the Eagles don't have the edge rushers and pass coverage in the playoffs.
I think we need to clean house. Fire the coach and all his coordinators and start for fresh. I know
Now,
they not. I know they not. They might fire the coordinators, but I think they'll give Sirianni another chance. Because, like I said before, since he don't call the plays, he can easily just say, "Well, my bad. I picked the wrong offensive coordinator, the wrong play caller." You know what I mean? But if you the fucking head coach, what are you doing if you ain't calling the plays?
yeah,
You're
that's what
not
I.
even you're not even making adjustments and saying, hey, wait, we doing this wrong or we need to do this. Ain't no way your starting receiver, who's one of the top three receivers in football, get one target and a half. And you don't say, "Oh, we need to get the ball to him." Like he's not stepping in and changing anything, or even talking to his coordinators. So I just feel like he on some bullshit.
Yeah, I think that like you said, I think they will fire all the coordinators and put Sirianni on the hot seat for next season.
Yeah, Frank Wright was doing real good as our coordinator. He got fired. Why you ain't just bring him in? I just don't
What
understand that.
about like you said about the consultant? Didn't
Right
Doug Peterson was fired also, right? When Doug Peterson fired during the season?
this year?
Yeah.
No,
He wasn't fired
no.
for the what
The
team was he?
Jags.
I thought they fired him like in the middle of the season or something. Or maybe I'm getting the wrong coach. Maybe I'm getting him mixed up with Frank Wright, as you just
Yeah, Frank
mentioned.
Wright is the one that got fired
Oh,
mid
okay.
season.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have came back as like a consultant type of figure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these guys is not for them.
And your
Coordinate.
your secondary is so bad. Why don't you bring in a veteran like Deshaun? I mean, Brian Dawkins to be like the fucking secondary coach or something,
Right.
assistant defensive coordinator, somebody that you know what I mean that prove themselves here as an Eagle instead of just willy nilly and some fucking dudes that don't know what the fuck they doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I really don't have much to say, but
It ain't a lot to say.
I'm gonna give Philip props for winning our fantasy football championship. No, I'm not calling him champ.
Yes, you
But
will.
do you want to have anything to say about your fantasy
Nope.
football
N-
one?
Nope. Long time coming. Every year I'm always hurt. This year I ain't had no injury, so that's why I won.
Yes, I took his place this season. But one positive thing for me is I did go on the 3 game winning streak. Two of the wins didn't count because they was they was the what you call those games consideration games at the end, the 2 games during your playoffs.
Consolidation or something.
Yeah, I won those too. So I was on a 2 game win streak. So that was positive. Didn't count. So I still was two. I still only won 2 wins during this season. Yeah, I had a lot of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
this season. Well,
What you about to do? You want to get on some Call of Duty?
yeah, I'll play with you. All right, y'all. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and follow us on YouTube at PNL Judgementals. Instagram is _judgementals, or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. All right, Phil.
Peace out.